Okay. So, Manik, actor basically means the person whom you're expecting to take some sort of an action or a step. So, for example, if you are running a blogger's outreach, then your actor is a blogger, and your action is that you're expecting him to write a blog about you. If you are trying to run a paid ad, then you're expecting people to click on it and go to a landing page. In that case, an actor is basically a potential consumer who you are targeting with the ad, and the action is that you're expecting him to click. The action is the click so that he can land on a page. Okay, Amit actually joined in and probably dropped out again. Maybe some internet issues. I'm not sure about it. But anyways, okay. So today we are going to go through this concept called audience aggregation. This is week two, session one. So today's agenda is to understand what is audience aggregation and understand how can we do audience aggregation implementation using emailers. All right. So we'll first finish the audience aggregation orientation today, and we will do the implementation using emailers in the next session, which is Thursday. Okay. So anybody has an idea about what is audience aggregation? Whatever you understand of that definition. Layman meaning of audience aggregation, guys. No. Okay. Views of your content. No, Amit, that's not what is audience aggregation. Accumulation of audience. Hmm, I mean, obviously, but why is it called as audience aggregation? Getting attention of the targeted audience. Okay, Manik, this part of your answer is slightly closer to the right answer, bringing as many people of similar persona to your content. Okay. Yeah, Amit, even that answer is a bit correct. Okay. So let's understand where does audience aggregation fit in terms of the context, and then I will get to the definition of what is audience aggregation. Okay. You guys remember this digital marketing framework? So last session that we finished, we understood how do we create engagement magnets, right? Now this is where engagement magnets will help you in the digital marketing framework. It will help you capture the people who come through the reach onto an online presence where you have built your engagement magnets to capture those people and convert them into leads. or aggregate them into an audience. So there are two possibilities once people land on your online presence. One is they like they like the content that they're seeing and they want more of it. They will probably become an aggregated audience. They like the services or products that you're offering and they're interested to know about it further. They will probably become a lead directly. Now, the key is all those people who come on your website, right? Almost as high as 97% of them are not going to buy at that point of time because they are just researching. If they are researching, if 97% of people are researching, only 3% are going to go through this funnel. 97% who are not going to buy at that point. What happens with them? You try and see how many maximum number of those 97% can you aggregate into an audience. Can you keep them together based on what interests they have? Now, out of the 97%, you might realize, let's take a ballpark. 50% of them are non-relevant people who have landed on your website or on your Facebook page or on some group, some community, whatever you have. Okay. Assume 50% of that is waste. You're left with what? About 47%. In that 47%, some of them who are interested or majority of them who are interested will not engage with you. They will simply leave your website and go. If you create the right engagement magnets on your online presence, those engagement magnets will allow people to get aggregated, and the rest of the people who are interested in your services to know further at that very moment will get converted to leads. Okay. How many of y'all have heard of Satyagraha? All of you have heard of Satyagraha, right? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Here's the interesting part about Satyagraha as a terminology at this point of time. Okay. There was a newspaper started by Mahatma Gandhi called Indian Opinion. Okay. It was started way back in South Africa when he was there and studying as a lawyer and doing different kind of things. If you've seen the movie, you'll probably remember that initial part where he's a young boy. He's in South Africa. He's fighting against some set of people, etc. Okay. So Satyagraha as a concept, okay, originated for the first time in 1906 in one of his newspapers in South Africa. But he actually went ahead and executed Satyagraha 20 years later, 20 plus years later, when he was fighting the independence for India. Now, what does this basically mean, right? And why is it important to understand this particular example from the perspective of audience aggregation right now? Because he had an audience who was interested to know about Indian opinion, or who was interested to regularly keep themselves updated about this particular newspaper called Indian Opinion, he kept putting in content which he felt would have been useful to influence people's mind. Satyagraha as a concept came out in 1906 as one of those things that was used to influence the mind of the people reading Indian Opinion inside South Africa. Now that wave carried forward to that relevant audience, which then turned into sort of a freedom fight and eventually got into the act of actually executing Satyagraha as a concept 20 years later. If you correlate this to your business, okay, a lot of times what happens is most of the businesses think that, if somebody comes to my website, like because we are in the lead generation business, I'm just sharing kind of a pain, but at the same time, kind of a complaint, but at the same time, something that most of you guys will agree to. Okay. Most of the businesses think that when they get a traffic on their website, the only possible outcome of that traffic should be sales. Or if they get somebody who's inquiring through their marketing activities, the only potential outcome is that the fact that somebody has filled up a form should mean the fact that that guy is definitely interested in whatever is being offered, and that there would be a very, very high possibility of a sale. But most of the businesses forget that when that conversation starts, okay, that is just a start, it's not actually the end. When that conversation starts, like Indian Opinion was a vehicle for Mahatma Gandhi to start the conversation on Satyagraha in 1906. When that conversation starts and stays and sticks and then further progresses on those people who are consistently engaged with that content, that is when that content will actually start becoming more and more realistic and believable for those people who are consuming it. And that's what inbound is about. Obviously, we all know Narendra Modi, one of the most followed guys across Facebook and Twitter. What is he doing on social media, right? He's aggregating his audience because he understands the fact that all those people interested to know about Modi, he doesn't care if they are interested in the progress of the country or whatever else. But he understands the fact that all those people who are interested in knowing about Modi, okay, should be updated at once for everything that is going around in terms of what he's up to. Now, what is his way or channel to communicate that to the world, not just people in India, at the same time? By posting things on his page, which is being commonly followed by all those people who are interested in the subject called Narendra Modi. Yeah, Man Ki Baat is another audience aggregation activity by Narendra Modi, because what he's doing through that is every week he's giving you content which he wants you to listen and believe in. There is a reason why he's basically, sort of counted as the marketing guru, because he understands every single step of what it takes to bring an audience closer to him and to make that audience believe in him. Unless that Man Ki Baat did not happen, millions of people in rural India never knew who Narendra Modi was. They only knew what BJP was, right? So, audience aggregation is actually bringing an audience who's interested in a particular subject through a medium where you control the content. Okay, here's the definition for all you guys. The reason why I'm saying it now in the middle of these examples is because it will make it more easy and relevant for you to understand what audience aggregation actually means by the definition of it. Audience aggregation in this context is basically a way to bring an audience together on a platform which is controlled by you. Nobody except you has the authority to publish content on that. Can you post on Narendra Modi's page? You cannot. You can only comment on his post. Yeah? Yes? No? Can you speak in Man Ki Baat? You can only listen to that. So aggregation, every aggregation where an audience is put together through a common purpose, right? In Man Ki Baat, the purpose is all those people who want to listen to what Narendra Modi has to talk about from a country's progress perspective. On Facebook, he wants people to know where is he going, what is he doing, what kind of things is he working on, etc. So, audience aggregation is bringing together an audience that is interested in a particular subject, which is common to all, common to those people, and the control of publishing that content is with you. And because you control the publishing of that content, you can bring that audience back when you want them. So let's move further. Let's not jump trying to understand certain things. Okay. How many of you all have subscribed to some kind of email updates from some kind of marketing blogs or some other things? Like you get regular blog updates from various websites. How many of you all have done that? Do you get these kind of email updates on a regular basis? Okay, Amit says yes. Nobody else gets these kind of emails. Google Alerts is different. I'm talking about emails that you get from a particular business or a blog or a news site. Okay. So audience aggregation can be done on email, where you can ask people who are potentially interested to conversate with you to share their email ID and allow you to send them updates on a consistent basis or on a regular interval basis, because they can read that content when they want it because they've got it on their emails, and you can get them back to your website or your webinar or anything that you want to, because you are sending that out on various timings, right? You are the one controlling that content which is going out to them on email. All right, so you can do audience aggregation on email. You can do audience aggregation on Twitter. You can have people follow you on Twitter and you can keep tweeting so that all the people who are following you will be able to read about you. You can obviously do audience aggregation on Facebook, right? Allow your audiences to quickly, get updates about whatever you're posting. All right. So let's do a small exercise to understand if people understand. I mean, if people have got the concept of what is audience aggregation. Okay. Here's a question for all you guys, and I want you guys to help me with the answer to it. A website is getting 100,000 visitors per month, 1 lakh visitors per month. Okay. I'm repeating, a website is getting 100,000 visitors per month. Are these visitors aggregated audience of the website? Yes, no, maybe, don't understand. For all those guys who are saying no, keep your answers ready. Okay, some of you don't have an opinion at all. Okay, Preeti, are you there? Swarnali, are you there? Sagar, the question is very straight, right? Are these visitors aggregated audience of the website? The answer could only be a yes or a no, right? There is nothing that depends on anything. Okay. Swarnali, Reshma I already replied. Preeti, Naina. Okay, Nana also replied Flipkart. Anybody wants to change their answers just in case? Okay. Okay, so for all those who said no, let's hear the reasons. Why do you say it's a no? Please explain the reason why all those people who have said no. Please explain the reason. Why do you say no? Okay. Total traffic of the website is not aggregated audience. Okay. There is a simpler way to prove why it's a no. The right answer is no for all those who are thinking yes, or for all those people who've said no. That's the right answer. But let's get the reason behind it because that's what is going to define if we've understood the concept. Okay. Okay. So the simpler answer to this is the reason why it's a no is because these 100,000 visitors are not subscribers of that website. They are visitors, which means that the website doesn't have any contact details in terms of an email ID or a phone number or a Facebook followership or a Twitter followership from those users that will allow the website owner to bring that potential visitor back out of those 100,000 visitors when they want it. Because you don't have any contact details, how will you bring them back? So you can't bring them back. You don't have any contact details. They are not aggregated into a community or into a subscriber list. Hence, they are not an aggregated audience. Is everybody with me on this? No, no, Amit. So the question is for all those who are subscribers are subscribers. Here the question is very straight, right? A website has 100,000 visitors per month. Are these visitors aggregated audience of the website? The straightforward answer is no. If somebody is a subscriber, he is not a visitor, right? He's basically a subscriber who's coming back on the website. Okay, explain your confusion, Amit. Yeah, yeah, definitely. But right now, I mean, the question is not the fact that are the subscribers also visiting back. Here, the question is if a website is getting 100,000 visitors per month, are these visitors aggregated audience? Now, unless these 100,000 visitors have not shared their phone numbers or email IDs, or these days you must be seeing this particular thing when you go to a new website, they show you this pop up that says this website wants to send you notifications, block or allow. How many of you all have seen that? Block or allow? You go to some website and it says the website wants to send you notification. So that's another new age way to aggregate an audience, because for all those people who say allow, okay, you have activated browser notifications for whatever new activity happens on that particular website. Now, once you allow, okay, when you're working on your laptop, you will suddenly see these pop-ups coming in from Chrome browser that talk about the updates of those websites. Like a new article is posted, they will show you an update. A new, document is released, they will show you an update. A new blog is updated, they will show you an update. So there are different updates that you will keep seeing after you allowing that website to send you notifications. That's another way to aggregate audience these days. So just one more thing, right? When you download the app, any mobile app, okay, and instead of signing in, okay, you're just a guest. You go through the app and you go out and you uninstall or you keep the app, but you don't log into the app or you don't subscribe to the app. You're not an aggregated audience till that point. The moment you log into an app or subscribe to an app, apps can send you notifications, which means if I have 2 million people who've downloaded my app and I send out 2 million notifications, I'm going to wait for those people to come back to my app when I send out a notification, right? Because that's the only way I can bring them back. Are you with me? Okay. Coming back to the query you guys are asking over here, somebody asked this question that what if somebody is not logged in? So by the way, for you to have an aggregated audience, it's just about having an audience that has given you an email ID through which you can stay in touch with them, which can be done through a subscriber list, which can be done through a form, which can be done through a webinar, which can be done through a landing page. It doesn't need somebody to log in. Does it help you answer your query, Amit? Okay. So then the question is, why aggregate an audience, right? Is that a question come into anybody's mind? Why do this whole jamela of aggregating an audience? What is the use? What is the advantage of aggregating an audience? फायदा क्या है? Selling becomes easy. Okay. What else? Why aggregate an audience? So you may give them different use case of your products. Okay. We could make more relevant content to attract customers, potential future leads. Okay. Do you guys follow any celebrities? Any of you? Can you name any celebrity you follow? Okay, Robin Sharma. Okay, great. Any other names? Okay. Let's take this example for a minute, okay? Robin Sharma is, let's say, coming to India for a seminar. Okay, just stay with me on this thought, okay? Robin Sharma is coming to India for a seminar. Will good probability of reaching out to potential customer. Now, assuming for a minute there are, let's say, 2 million followers of Robin Sharma, okay? And he sends out a notification to everyone saying that I'm coming to India. Will all those 2 million people go and see Robin Sharma live on that seminar? What will happen? - 20 to 30 of them may go, okay? Some will later watch it online, okay? What else? So what does this mean? If Robin Sharma has 2 million followers, and I mean taking Robin Sharma as a personality, assuming let's say 200 of them go to attend the live program. What just happened is called as audience aggregation, because those 2 million people were the aggregated audiences, and when he went out to do the seminar, 200 of those audiences came in and watched it. But assume for a minute he never had an audience. You never knew who Robin Sharma is. There is no community that follows Robin Sharma as a personality. And then the first time, let's say right now, there is somebody called Rahul Prakash Singh who's doing a seminar in Mumbai, for example. Will you go and attend Rahul Prakash Singh? Why? So support your content marketing efforts. That's the one big reason why you need to aggregate an audience. Have a base set of audience to promote your content, right? If you don't have an audience that knows you, wants to hear about you, is interested to talk to you, you will never ever be able to get yourself out there in front of relevant audiences because you don't have one. For all those people who want to go out and do lead generation for sales, and this is again another real business case problem, right? They say, okay, so we are a business, we are into travels, and we want to generate customers. I mean, we want to do sales for packages for of international travel packages. Basically, we want to do sales. So, question number one, right? When you go out and promote yourself, do people know you? No. Have you done any promotion in the past? No. Do you have an aggregated audience, like people who already shown interest to get updates from you? No. Yeah, just like Humans of Bombay, right? What is Humans of Bombay? It's a community. So what do you want people to do, right? You don't want people to directly jump in, inquire, and sell. It's not going to happen. It's like expecting, a guy to meet a girl for the first time and get married the third day. What happens? How does a relationship groom, right? A guy and a girl meet, they talk, they understand, they spend time, months, years, figure out if they understand each other well, if each other's expectations are understood well, and then come to a point when they feel that, okay, this is the time now we can go to the next step of getting married. But unless that acquaintance, unless that relationship building doesn't happen, there's nothing that can progress, right? Similarly, in your business, unless you don't allow your customer to get acquainted to you or your business and stay in touch with that customer on a consistent basis, that customer is not going to recognize you when you try to sell something to them, because he has no evidence or he has no relevance of what you are and who you are to be able to take a decision to buy or transact with you. And the second reason why aggregating audience is important is because you want to engage with a potential customer over a long term, right? Go back to the data. 97% of them are not in the ready to buy zone. They're there to research. If they're there to research, how can I keep you engaged? So that I can bring you back when you're in the mood and make you actually buy. So let's see how aggregating audience can support content marketing efforts. This is how audience aggregation cycle works. Okay. On the left, what you see is basically a harvesting field. Okay. Sorry, a agricultural field. The green parts that you see on the screen are the crops. Correlating it to a business environment, the green part is basically the audience. The white part that you see are the sprinklers, water sprinklers. Okay. What you're doing with that is nurturing content. So basically, just like you sprinkle water on crops so that they grow, you sprinkle content on your potential customers so that they so that they nurture. And what you get as an output is harvest, the sales, right? Is this easy to understand for all of you? So this is how the audience aggregation model works. You bring an audience together and 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 harvest them into leads through inbound interest, and then you do content marketing to that audience to harvest them into taking an action that will convert them into a potential customer. Okay, how many of you all got an email from Digital Vidya for a webinar? Any kind of webinar? Okay, what was the webinar about, Amit? Oh, you got one today, Satyajit. What was it about? Personal branding. Awesome. Satyajit, what was the webinar email that you got? Okay, SEO webinar. Cool. Anybody else has got any kind of webinar emails from Digital Vidya? मानिक नैना प्रीति सब है क्या यहाँ पे? ऑनलाइन सेशन है, पॉज करके सो गए? Okay, Naina is there, Sagar is there, Reshma is there, thank God. You know, that's one of the things I find it really difficult to accept through about these online programs. You can't see me, I can't see you. I'm looking at a screen and talking. You're looking at a screen and listening. I miss the human touch here. And trust me, it's so interesting and so much more engaging when you know this entire experience happens in a classroom. And hence, you know, time and again I keep asking if people are there because it's very easy to lose track. So it's not your fault, but it's just natural, you know, it's just completely natural to lose track. So don't mind me asking that question consistently. Shobha Keshwan. Who's that? Okay. Shobha, were you there in the previous session? Yesterday I didn't see you actually. Were you there? All right. Okay. You must have had some other name in the chat box because I didn't see this email ID yesterday. Okay. So, what is this webinar email from Digital Vidya expecting you to do? Reshma Manik, register, okay. Did Digital Vidya have to pay some money to send you that email? Did it cost them like the way it cost you to get a click or something? Okay. Let's try and understand the power of audience aggregation now. All right. And I'm going to give you guys, anybody is good with maths here? A little bit of maths, quick maths. Nobody's good at maths. God, you guys just go blank on replies. Okay, let's try. Huh, that's okay. Okay, so Amit, to get 326 registrations, if you were not to do it through audience aggregation, which means that, you know, if you don't have an existing database of emails or email subscribers, let's take a math, okay? To get 326 people to register, how many people would have to visit that website page? How many people will have to visit that page? 3,000. Okay. Your assumption is 10% conversion, Amit? Okay. So let me give you some data, some hard facts, okay? Any activity in digital, okay, including webinar registrations, have an average conversion percentage of 2. Yeah, you're right, Sagar. You got me very, very close to a realistic number. So to get 326 registrations through an ad, You will have to have at least 30,000 people come into a page, because if you go by that number, your average conversion percentage is 1, right? 1% of people are registering through that ad. Yes? All right. Now let's make it a bit conservative, okay? Assuming that your campaigns are doing very well. Instead of 30,000, let's say you got 326 conversions out of 15,000 people. To get 15,000 people on a landing page, okay? I'm saying 15,000 unique people, okay? How many clicks on an average will you have to generate from where people will land on your page? So, how many clicks will it need you to get on your ads to get those 15,000 people? Sagar, guess? Any guess on that? 1 lakh 50. I didn't understand that. No, no, no. So, if you want 15,000 people to land on your page, unique people to land on your page, how many people would you have to reach out your? I mean, how many people will have to click on your ad actually? Okay, so I'll make this easier and faster, right? So generally your unique reach to your total impressions is 1.5%. Okay, I mean 1.5 times. So basically, if you reach 15,000 people, 10,000 of them are unique on an average. On an average, okay. So if you're getting 15,000 people on your page, you're minimum generating 25,000 clicks, out of which 15,000 people are unique. Minimum. If you do 1.5% as a math, right? I mean, to be precise, it will be 22,500 clicks. Okay. Now do the maths. Average cost per click on Facebook for the most simplest of the posts is 5 rupees. And on Google is approximately 15 rupees. I'm taking very conservative numbers. Though, when you go out doing these ads for digital marketing businesses or these kind of activities, your cost per click goes as high as 20 and 30 rupees on Facebook itself, because the number of people who click on the ad are a lot more, but the number of people who land on the ad are a lot lesser. Anyways, let's take 25,000 as a number, which is a good round figure, and let's take 10 rupees as a per click cost, which is also a good round figure. How much does that math come to? 25,000 into 10 rupees a click? 2.5 lakhs. Absolutely, right? Which means if I am going to get onto a webinar, I would be needed to spend 2.5 lakh rupees to get 326 registrations. Yes, no, maybe? Yeah, if advertising only, yes, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, right? If I don't have the point here is not advertising. The point here is if I don't have an aggregated audience at all, I don't have any subscribers, I don't have any registered IDs or users, right? Now think about this. If one webinar is going to cost me 2.5 lakhs, Digital Vidya does one webinar every 3 days. Okay. Multiply that to a whole month, which is 3 into, I mean, 30 divided by 3 is 10, right? Assuming they do 10 webinars a month, how much that money would be? Approximately 25 lakhs. Guess how much is Digital Vidya spending right now in comparison to that? Zero. Because all of the audience which is coming onto the registrations of these webinars is aggregated. You guys got the email about SEO webinar because you're already there as a part of their database.
It's 9 o'clock.
Does it give you a approximate understanding of the power of aggregating an audience? How much money will it save you? Let's do simpler examples now. A few more simpler examples. Kissmetrics has had, it might have been much more now, but it had 1,03,000 followers. They posted this tweet that says 5 reasons email marketing crushes social media marketing for B2B. Okay. And there's a URL that they've given. Here's the stats. That URL, which was tweeted on their Twitter handle, got them 455 clicks. Let's take the same 10 rupees per click as an example. If they were not having a follower base of 1 lakh followers, from which they got an average of 455 clicks, just to give you guys a percentage of conversion in terms of this, it's 4.5%. Sorry, 0.45%, because 1% would be 1,000 out of 1 lakh followers. Yeah, am I right on that math? Sagar, Amit? So they got 0.5% people following them on Twitter, clicking through the tweet they have done, correct? Which makes 455 clicks come through to that landing page or that particular blog article. If you were to take the same thing through an ad, where you want people to drive, you want to drive people or traffic from a Google search page or a Facebook ad to your blog article page, and assuming your per click cost is as cheap as 5 rupees, multiplying 455 into 5 is approximately 2500, taking a round figure of 500 clicks. If I'm spending 2500 to promote one article to drive traffic to my article, and I'm posting one article every day, my math per week, 7 days into 2500 is approximately 17,000. Multiply that by 4 weeks is approximately 75,000, 72,000, whatever. So just to promote blog articles, if I'm expected to spend 72,000 rupees a month, where is my marketing budget going? Off the sky, right? Here's where audience aggregation comes to rescue, where people who are interested in the right subject follow you, like you, stay updated about everything that you're basically talking to them about. And whenever you post something, they click through it, they come to that page, which costs you absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right? Is it making sense for you to understand how aggregating an audience is important? We've all been running madly behind getting Facebook likes. Oh, this guy has a Facebook like, 1 lakh Facebook like, 10 lakh Facebook likes, 20 lakh Facebook likes. What does it actually mean in real business terms? This is what it means. Unless those people are not aggregated audiences, it's just not about 10 lakh likes. If they are not people who are interested in that subject which they are following, you're not going to get them to click through the content which you are basically posting. This is a bit confusing. Okay. So, what I'm trying to basically say here is the fact that when you aggregate an audience, all right, when you aggregate audience of like minded people, and then you post content on multiple channels where you've aggregated content audience, your cost of acquiring that traffic is zero, and it allows you a great deal of opportunity to consistently stay in touch with that consumer to see how you can convert that guy into a potential sale, or at least convert them into a hot lead from being completely a cold or a warm lead. Does that simplify for you or Sagar? Here's another example of HubSpot. HubSpot is a very, very well known product across. I mean, it was one of the, in fact, it was the creator of this industry called inbound marketing. Okay. Back in 2008, which is like a decade now. So they did a post on their on their Facebook page that says landing pages are the secret sauce to lead generation. Check out these three real life landing page makeovers before and after. Here are the stats. In totality, Facebook drove 199 plus 146, that's around 245 clicks. Oh, sorry, 345 clicks. All right. 345 clicks came through this particular Facebook post. Now, if you do a math, you can again understand how much money it would have costed HubSpot if it was advertising this particular thing, which it was not. It was just promoting this content on the audience which is already aggregated and interested to know more about content which is being published by HubSpot. So, how do you think can audience aggregation support you in your content marketing efforts? Question for all of you. But Amit, for that, first you will have to have an aggregated audience, right? More reach with less money or zero money fair. But the fact is that first you'll have to collect an audience that is interested in a subject that makes sense to them, right? So now let's go back stitching the entire thing, okay? We started with the first phase, which was attracting the audience. Step one was engagement magnets. So what you do, all right, is you make engagement magnets that are so precise and so relevant to an audience which is looking at those engagement magnets that they feel like using them, so that by, let's say for example, you created an engagement magnet of downloading an ebook, okay, and when people enter an email id and download that ebook, you understand the fact that obviously they are all those people who are interested in that particular type of an ebook, right? Point number one. Point number two, they are interested in subjects which are similar to or focused on aspects of that ebook. Point number three, now they've given you their email IDs, which means you can keep communicating with them whenever you want to. They've given you the permission to do that. Yes, no? So, step one, you build the right engagement magnets to attract the audience in a way that will get them to fill in an email ID, submit it to you so that they become an aggregated audience to whom you can keep communicating about more and more relevant content like that, which will allow you to bring them back when you want them. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else wants to share how can audience aggregation support content marketing efforts, guys? Audience aggregation will also help you understand what kind of content to market to what kind of an audience. Because when you collect audiences based on interests, okay, let's say you have 5 different ebooks. One ebook talks about parenting, second ebook talks about uh, styling trends for kids, third ebook talks about uh, mistakes parents make while growing their kids, fourth ebook talks about handling adolescence, and fifth ebook talks about letting your kids become independent, for example. Okay, now based on who downloads which ebook, just taking an example right now, based on who downloads which ebook, you realize what is the interest of those people, correct? Because they got aggregated into different buckets. Now when you market content that is about clothes for kids, you know which bucket you want to market that content to, right? You cannot just randomly market it to all the parents. It will definitely make more sense to market it to that one audience which downloaded that ebook that says styling trends for kids. Yes, no, maybe. Okay. So we're going to pause the session here and we're going to come back on Thursday and discuss about how you can engage with your potential consumer over a long term. And we're going to dive deep into the how, which is actually answered by, which is going to be about email as the channel. So there are various ways to aggregate audience. One is a Facebook group, second is email subscribers, third is Twitter followers, fourth is Instagram followers. I'm sure a lot of you know that today a lot of businesses just run on Instagram. All that they do is post stuff on Instagram. People are interested, keep following. If something interesting comes up that people like, they'll go ahead and buy, right? Literally to the point that transactions happen offline. You look at an image, you send that image on WhatsApp saying that I want to buy this particular thing from you. Those people send you a link, you pay on that link or you Paytm them on that phone number. So you don't even need a website today, actually, if you look at it that way, to transact with your potential customer. Exactly. All right. So before we go, let me just share this link with you. You guys can share your feedback. Some of you didn't fill in the feedback yesterday, so request you all to share your feedback for the session today. We're going to meet again on Thursday and we're going to dive deep into how we can do audience aggregation using emailers. All right. Before we complete the session today, if any of you guys have any questions relating to everything that we've discussed, you guys can go ahead and shoot those questions right away. Does anybody have any queries? Amit, Manik, Naina, Reshma, Sagar, Satyajit, Swarnali. Okay. All right. So my suggestion is spend some more time reading about audience aggregation between today and tomorrow. Try and see if the rest of you who has not been able to complete the assignment for the first week, if you can find out time to complete that. Come back to me with questions in the second session of the second week so that we can start with more clarity on the fundamentals and then we go into the deeper understanding of how we can do audience aggregation using emailers. Okay? I hope everybody's filled in the feedback. Just pasting the link again in case somebody's missed it. This helps us understand if something is, concerning you or something is missed that we can try and fix while we keep continuing taking you further in the session. Thank you, Satyajit. All right. Bye. See you guys on Thursday. Good night.